today we're going to celebrate with an early birthday. We're going to celebrate an early birthday for you. Tomorrow's your birthday. How are you feeling?
Why, thank you. Always, when my birthday comes up, there's such like sense of peace and gratitude because my son was texting me just this morning, Mom, what do you want? What can I do for you? All these things. And I'm like, babe, really, when you get older, the older you get, the more that you appreciate things and not material things, but like just peace and sleep and just having the people that you love around you and being healthy. And, for me, even like this last 30 days, which, for some of you that are following me, like I challenged myself not to have sugar.
Yeah, that was big. That was
right?
big.
Like
30
for
days
me,
with no sugar. For you and for me. We're both fiends of sugar.
Well, you've done it before. I don't think I've really ever committed and stayed on track for 30 days. And, it wasn't from the perspective of like having to lose weight or anything like that. It was just like, I felt like sugar was such an addiction for me. And I actually did it because I finished reading a book that's called Dopamine Nation. And in there it talks about how like we're so addicted to so many things. And the first thing that came to my mind was like, I'm so addicted to sugar. And sugar is in everything. And I want sugar all the time. So I really challenged myself to have the discipline to not have it. And I think I'm not only celebrating my birthday, which is such an amazing and beautiful part of like just God giving me so much and celebrating that, but celebrating that I actually finish that challenge. And there's a part of me that feels so good about it.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Let me tell you, I didn't think you were going to make it. We have some side bets with the kids. When is mom going to break? When's mom going to break? And I jumped in that challenge too. And I said, I'm going to support you.
You're so good.
And it was hard for me. It was hard for me. There was some, like the first 2 weeks especially, I was like feeding for chocolate at home, some ice cream, some chocolate, some cookies.
It's crazy because I'm still feeding. So I'm thinking like, do I really maybe like continue? Because that's what the book talks about, how like we find this dopamine hits and you get like one little bit and then you want more because it's never enough. So I don't know. It's been a lot of beautiful things. And I'm just always, I thank God every day I wake up. It's just, to be able to celebrate my birthday and the growth, and whether it's through pain or pleasure, I'm just always so grateful and thankful.
So I always love what we teach, from our coaching programs to our family. We are big believers in challenges. You got to challenge yourself. You can't just live through life hoping that one day you're going to give this up or hoping that one day you're going to get there. In order for you to get where you want in life, you have to challenge yourself. Like for us, it's 100 days challenge. Like we just finished a leadership summit a couple of weeks ago, and we're still on a high of the leadership summit. And in the leadership summit, we talked about set up 100 days from now where you're gonna be. Because a lot of us, what we do is we wait for the New Year's resolution. We have 2 months left of the year. We're gonna wait until December to set up our New Year's resolutions.
Right.
And most 5% of the people don't even accomplish it.
It's not realistic.
I mean, 95%. Only 5% actually accomplish it. 95% give up. So the way that we operate is challenges. We have a 100-day challenge, then we chunk it down to 30-day challenges. So I'm going to challenge the audience. Write down in the comments, what's a challenge that you're committing to what do you have to give up in the next 100 days or the next 30 days? Whatever it is that a challenge is for you, just give yourself a opportunity for you to challenge yourself, maybe in your business and your relationships and your connection with God. And I mean, we talked about God, money, and purpose. Like, what's a challenge when it comes to finances? Are you going to run the same program that you run every single year, like overspending and buying all these presents? That's why I challenged myself not to give Vivian an expensive present. That was a challenge.
I already have my gift picked out.
That was a challenge for me. I said, I'm not going to buy an expensive present for Vivian's birthday. All right. So I'm happy to say that I'm accomplishing my challenge.
That's so not true because you've given me so many gifts.
But I think you're going to love the present that I got you. You're gonna be surprised. You're gonna be surprised.
I always tell you, like, I don't need anything, and that's again the older you get.
It's something that you wouldn't buy yourself.
Please don't say like pots or pans or anything like that.
It's a nice upgraded vacuum cleaner that is like another. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I don't even vacuum. I don't clean our house.
But that's why something you wouldn't buy yourself.
I don't need it. I don't need that.
So what's the challenge? So the next 30 days, like you accomplish your challenge. Are you going to have dessert for your birthday? That's the big question.
But of course, I have to celebrate. I'm gonna have my cake and eat it too, and just you have to like just have those delights of life and
you gotta enjoy life,
fulfillment and pleasures of life. And for me, honestly, chocolate, cake, ice cream, that's my guilty pleasures, and I enjoy it. And then like, I think that's a great part about having like this awareness in what we do. Because that's what I tell the women too. Like when I'm coaching them, I'm like, I would not be able to tell you to do something unless I'm doing it.
To do it, yep.
So I challenge myself all the time. And I think, we go back to like God, money, and sex is because that trifecta is so important for us in an everyday life. Like God, money, sex, or purpose, whichever way you want to look at it. It's like, it's so infinite, right? It's like, always growing, always just room for improvement. So will I go back to a challenge? Of course. Like I'm always challenging myself. Do I always finish the challenge? Sometimes no. But now I'm in this place where it's like, okay, our discipline, especially because I also hired a coach and she's keeping me accountable. And it's like, how do I create the discipline that could give me the results that we want to get? Yeah. So it's...
And that's key. You have to be accountable.
Right.
Like I have coaches as well. We have people that hold us accountable and spend a lot of money on consultants and people. I have a consultant right now that's looking over my marketing because we constantly are looking for like that edge, right, in our marketing. Right. And she gave me a whole tutorial of videos to record. And I don't want to redo videos. I don't want to record, but I'm trusting the process. We just finished doing the 3 videos that she asked me to do.
Awesome.
To create new content. And these videos for me are little bit outside of what I would do because I'm usually just go down, put the fire in the video
like
and
punch him in the face.
Punch him in the face and that's it. Which is like, no, you gotta do it this way, that way. So I'm trusting the process. So whatever you're going through right now, just know that you have to challenge yourself to become better. Yes. Without a challenge, there's no growth.
That's right.
So congratulations. You look amazing. You look beautiful for your birthday, and we're gonna celebrate.
Thank you.
Celebrate. So the second thing we're gonna talk about is this Jada Pinkett Smith book that comes out. Did you buy the book?
I ordered it. Her book is called Worthy. I love that, even the word, because I know with the women in my my Born to be a Queen page and with the queens that I'm teaching, that word in itself is like, do we feel worthy? And when we don't feel worthy, then we don't accept, we can't receive, we can't live life from this place of abundance and grace, which God wants for us, right? So we were just having this conversation with one of the queens. It's like, how do we feel worthy of it? So I haven't read the book yet, but I've heard quite a bit of her interviews, and there's a lot to say. I mean, it's very controversial, right? Because right now she's a very controversial woman with marriage.
I feel that I don't need to read the book. I already know everything. Like this woman is putting everything out there that I think we know way too much about the relationship.
Yeah, but in the book...
This is what our kids say, like TMI.
Yeah.
Too much information. I think this is where the Smiths are probably sharing a little bit too much.
I know. And then, a lot of people say like, well, now she needs more popularity. Now she needs to make more money. So she always drops a bomb and things start to come up for her again. But, the way that, from what I understand, and also like we can't be so quick to judge because we do not know what goes on behind closed doors. Raul and I have been married for 24 years, and within those 24 years, like there's been so much growth, so much letting go. And granted, we're not in the public eye like they are. Imagine having that judgment on you at all times.
We just came back from Fort Lauderdale, did a podcast. Shout out to Adam Sass Talk podcast, and we stayed with one of our clients. Our clients are very good friends now, and we stayed in their house. And you and I stayed together. And I know that, like for you to stay in somebody's house is kind of like, you don't like to inconvenience. I don't like to inconvenience people, but he's such a great host that I feel like not going to his house is a disrespect, right? And I know how he feels, and I know how we feel. Yeah. But I've stayed in his house a couple of times. It's a beautiful $15-20 million house. I have my own wing in his house, and we're talking about it. And one of the things that he told me is like how I treat you and how we interact with each other, the same way that we interact on videos. I mean, the same. Like there's no act, right? And he said if you guys were putting up a show, man, it's hard to continue to put up a show. And I said the moment that I think that my marriage I have to put up a show for my marriage, that's the moment that I lost my edge. So I feel like, for celebrities, they have to put up a show. They have to put up a show. They have to pretend at a certain level because that's their job. And I think that a lot of us, what we do is we buy into that show. We want to see the perfection, right? And I think like perfection is the lowest standard. Why is the lowest standard? Because it's unattainable. Nobody's perfect. We're not perfect. Like even in this trip, you and I have fights, right? Even this trip, we had arguments.
Really?
Yeah, there's a couple of times that I pissed you off and you pissed me off.
Well, it wasn't a fight. Yeah. It was just, an argument or miscommunication of some sort.
But we're not perfect. So,
no, we're not. We're not.
When we're looking at all, when we're looking at celebrities, we have to be careful to idolize
and to put
perfection,
them in a pedestal.
To put them in a pedestal.
Yeah, definitely.
Because eventually, they're going to let us down.
And one of the compliments that we got when we were on that trip, and I love that because we were like walking, we went to a boat show, and as we're walking, this guy stops you. He's like, "Hey, Raul from The Edge." Yeah. And you weren't wearing like the Edge t-shirt.
I was incognito. I actually have for like the first time in a long time a white shirt.
Yes.
No Edge logo, just a white shirt, and I got recognized.
You were a civilian. And he comes up, and then, you were talking to him, so I waited for you on the side, and then he comes over, and I just greeted him, and I said hi. We had like a little bit of a conversation, and the first thing he said, he was like, "Wow, you guys are exactly the same as you are on Instagram or on Facebook or our reels." And he was like, "You guys are real, like you're so real." And he just like looked at me and smiled, like he like
people feel the energy when you actually enjoy doing what we do, or are we just doing it for the cameras?
And then we were just having an honest conversation, and it was quick, but it was so real, and it was so cute to see that because he was actually like, "Wow, like I've been following someone that's true and honest for what they're doing." So.
But that doesn't, again, I go back into continue to share our pain, our struggles, our success, and just,
of course,
documenting our journey with the intention of helping somebody that is going through whatever we've gone through in the past. And I think that if this book is an intention to actually, okay, this is how I fucked up my marriage. Mm-hmm. This is how I felt unworthy. Now here's what you could do. I think that it could be a good product. But if it's a book that talks about, look, this is how good I am, or try to justify where I am in life, then it's just another way to make yourself feel worthy.
Right. No. And then I think she talks a little bit about this, like how for a long time they try to live in this perfectionism. And like you said, that's the lowest standard. It brings us down completely. And then we go to this place of like, we have to pretend that we have a perfect marriage, pretend that I love you when I really like hate your guts. And like, we go through all that stuff, but it's like, how do you communicate? And that's something like, we don't have enough education in that. It's like, how do you get to this place that's a healthy marriage? How do you get to a place where like, okay, we make the time to actually communicate what we're going through? Because one of the things that she was saying is that, and I think I wrote it down, she didn't know how to deal with conflict. They didn't have that understanding. And I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm nowhere to judge. But in the book, she was talking a lot about how like she had this beautiful friendship and connection with Tupac. And she was like, all I wanted was connection.
Have you seen the memes about that? They're saying that Tupac faked his death to get away from Jada because it's too crazy. And I believe it. I'm starting to believe that because this woman is all over the place.
And
this woman is way too much. The guy is dead.
That's right.
He's dead. Let him rest in peace. You continue to if you had an ex-boyfriend and you continue to bring it up, we wouldn't be here.
So the way that I take it is like, what we always talk about, like we want connection. We as women, like we're yearning for that. She had that with the person and all of a sudden he died. Like it was taken away from her. So it's kind of like she's living with that ghost.
But she has Will Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. But then also Will Smith is a superhero. He's like a Man in Black.
That's how you look at it, right? But then also like what she talks about, which again, not right or wrong, but that's what she is going through, is like, okay, Will Smith, what he did was like, he was always out there providing for her, which I'm not saying is wrong, but that's everything that he did was just work. Like how many movies does he have? How many books? How many, all these things that he's gotten. And at the moment, she didn't need that. She needed a man.
It reminds me of the joke. I know I'm going to mess up this joke. I'm going to tell it anyway.
Okay, fine.
A joke about this woman makes a wish, finds a lamp, wants a wish, and says, I want to find the perfect man. And the genie says, okay, come to this building. I'm going to have several floors for you to choose from. Says, open up, the first floor. She opens up the first floor, and a bunch of men who are studs. I mean, good looking, built. I mean, every single one of those guys are like, said, okay, you could stay in this floor. You could pick a man from here, or you could go to the next level, right? So he goes, all right, I want to see what's the second floor. So you go to the second floor, opens up. Guys who are studs, who are good looking, and they're wealthy, and they have money, and they're gonna give you whatever you want. Says, okay, you could stay in this floor, or you could go to the next level. So he goes, well, I don't know, man. These guys are good looking, they have money.
To go try something
let's try next the third floor. So they go upstairs. The guy is good looking. He has money. And he has a good heart, like he wants to start a family. He wants to like give. He has like a very open heart to give back. He goes, okay, so this is like the perfect man. Like, okay, you want to stay in this floor? There's the next floor, the fourth floor. Uh-huh. He goes, this is the perfect man, but I want to know what the next floor has, because he sees every single floor is better, right?
Something different, yeah.
So he goes to the next floor, as he opens up, and it's an empty floor with a note. This floor only exists to show that there's never enough for women. There's no perfect man.
I knew that was coming.
Because there's no perfect man or perfect woman. All right. So then part of what we're looking for is perfection doesn't exist. And if you constantly looking for something that doesn't exist, then you're always going to be disappointed.
Yes. And what I was trying to say is, from what I gathered, and not, I haven't read her book yet, obviously, but just from like the interviews that she's done, it's like she was saying, like, at the point in her life, like, I don't even know how long they've been together, but it's like he was giving her everything but what she needed at the time. And we talk to a lot of relationships when, men are so amazing at providing and protecting, and then you turn around and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, my wife is no longer here.
What she needed is to go to find Tupac.
Oh, stop it.
That was Will Smith. So you need to go to find Tupac. I'm going to go.
She's probably wanting that.
So I want to show you this clip because this is interesting. Okay. So if the team could play this clip. Give us a minute. Hold on. Go back. So she's had an interview with this. I mean, she's been all over the place. She's been all over social media and podcasts and everything else. And in this clip, they kind of ask her like about the relationship with Will Smith. And when I watched this clip, I had a lot of questions after I heard what she said. So are you guys ready? Want to play this clip? Hold on. He's not ready yet. So.
I'll give you a 3, 2, 1. Right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Because I said, is this true?
The team can't show it because you're not getting any sound. So we'll just tell you what it says. It says that 2016, her and Will were no longer together.
They were not married.
So they were not married. They were apart. And part of the question that I had is like, so what happened? Like, what was the whole? Why continue to put up a show? I mean, why continue to fake it for the public that they're together? If in 2016 she said pretty much where we have a divorce, but on paper it's not a divorce.
Again, I think, like, one, they were pretending, and two, because they're in the public eye, they didn't want to have to give everybody explanations as to what.
But they did. But that's what I'm saying. That they didn't have to, but they did. Saying the explanation is we're together. Like she has a whole red talk table. Talks about
red table
talk. Let's talk about the truth. So when you're talking about it, and you put the guy through the ringer, like he cheated on him, or supposedly, but now she says they didn't cheat because they were separated. So obviously she could sleep with whoever she wants. But to everybody else, look, that she was sleeping with her son's friend, Poor Will Smith is in the red table talk looking like a puppy.
Yeah.
And like he lost his balls, completely emasculated.
There was a lot of pain.
And now comes back saying, oh, by the way, we were not together. So now, do you believe that? Or you feel like that is a justification for her actions?
Do I believe what?
That they were not together. You believe that she's like, oh, we're not together, or you believe that she's just trying to justify her actions?
I mean, I believe that they were not together. And again, going back to like they had to pretend to the public eye that it was like, okay, we're going to be this happy couple, happy marriage. And I think that in itself takes a toll on you. Like, why do you have to continue to lie?
And a question that I have, maybe you could answer this. For women, if you don't love that person anymore, but then he's providing for you, he's taking care of you, and everybody makes you feel like, are you okay of continuing to be that person even if there is no love? Like, what will make you stay with that person if there is no love?
I mean, we know so many marriages nowadays that are in those type of sexless relationships, but the person is providing.
I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about there's no love, because obviously there is no love.
But they do
because
have
if you
love.
love a person, you wouldn't put him through this. I mean, she doesn't love Will Smith. If you love a person, you want to protect that person. You want to. So clearly, she doesn't love him. Clearly, she's with him out of convenience, right?
But why
what will make you stay with somebody of convenience? Like, what is the need from a woman's perspective? The need for you to be with that person?
I mean, what I would say is like, this is all she knows. Like, it's just comfortable. You're comfortable in a relationship. So it's like, I don't know any better, and I'd rather have this than not have nothing at all. Obviously, I want Tupac, and Tupac is dead. So I'm going to settle for Will Smith. Right now, from what I understand, is like she's taking her time and really trying to figure herself out. She goes to talk about how like in her 40th birthday, like she was going through such a dark time, and he was there for her. So I think, it's like a love-hate relationship. It's kind of like, well, I love you, and then I hate you for not letting me do what I want to do, but yet I'm just going to stick around.
So I want to show you
not enough love for yourself.
Clip to see some of the body language. Can we play that clip? You have audio, Daniel, on that clip?
Let's play it, and then I'll tell you.
Okay, let's try this again.
Okay.
Are you playing it?
You were
It's
playing
gonna
it,
play
but
now.
we don't have any audio here.
No, I don't have any sound coming through.
Yeah, hold on. So I just want you to pay attention, Vivian, to her body language, because the way that she asked this question, and this is where I think that I'm going to make my point here of
They had already split. So I guess my question
right there.
is,
Yeah, I don't have it coming through the computer. though.
am. Except you're not sometimes. So why do that?
I feel like you're a straight talker. She goes, yes, I am. Except when you're not. She goes, yes. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, she is some kind of crazy, like, she just wants to play their narrative of being this straight talker, this woman who tells it like it is. But all this time you've been lying.
Right.
All this time you've been pretending. All this time you've been putting this man through the ringer. So I'm not saying that Will Smith is not at fault. Will Smith lost his balls a long time ago. My theory is that Will Smith cheated on her, and maybe with another man. Maybe there was another man, and that's what she's like. If you ever leave my ass, I'm gonna show this to the public. And Will Smith has to take it because he doesn't want to show who he is. So I'm thinking, like, for me, I ask myself, what would make me stay with a woman like that? Mm-hmm. And it's like, you have such a dark secret that I don't want it to let out, that probably I will have to maintain that, what do they call it, the cuck man or something? Like some kind of, like a man who has no balls, a man who's...
I don't know, emasculated
man. So
the man.
I think that Will Smith is... He's in trouble. He's in trouble. And we're probably going to know, because she's probably going to come out with a book saying the real truth. 2-3 years from now, she's like, here's what really happened.
Well, he should write the book. He should write his story of what the real story of his side, because there's always like 3 sides of the story: her side, his side, and the truth.
So what can we learn from this? In every situation, we learn from something, right? And I don't like to, be with the entertainment stuff, but this is a great lesson
crazy.
for all of us to really stop looking at these celebrities as icons in the way that they live their lives, because they have no, they're so disconnected from reality that is not even real.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
also like
So
you
we
have to
gotta
understand
learn
that they're
who-
human beings.
Yeah, but we have to learn who our mentors are. We have to
Yes.
pick who are the people who we surround ourselves with. That's
And
part
you
of what
have
we're
to-
constantly doing, is being around couples that are real.
Right. And that's what I tell like my daughter, right? Like we have these conversations all the time. I'm like, babe, you could look at someone, but you got to see like how they truly live their life. Like what is the reality of their life? What fruits are they giving? Is it a marriage that you want to aspire to look up to? You will never really know unless you're surrounded with that person. Like you don't know the truth of being with someone, right? So it's like you can't put someone in a pedestal because they will always fall short.
And it comes down to association. I mean, like somebody has to tell this woman, what are you really doing, right? And somebody has to tell Will Smith what's going on, right? They don't have, so they're so disconnected from reality. They don't have any real people around that tells them, hey, this is what's going on. Everybody probably is telling them, yes, you're doing great, you're so brave. And to Will Smith, yeah, definitely stick by your woman, do the right thing, right? So if you surround yourself with people who are constantly going to lower your standard or accept your standard, you're not growing.
Right.
You gotta be around other couples, a power couple that gets you outside your comfort zone. And that's what I got out of this. Like I want to make sure that I never fall into this category of pretending or masking or searching for perfection that is not attainable.
It makes you angry to see this woman. It's so funny. But, babe, at the end of the day, like, we don't know what the truth is behind closed doors, and only they know. It's kind of sad because, again, they are such celebrities that so many people are looking at them, even like, listening to them. And at the end of the day, it's like, what does God really have to say about what a healthy, fulfilled marriage is? It's not like a happy marriage because that doesn't really exist. Again, we go back to that perfectionism. But what does God say about a marriage that's healthy and fulfilled? And you have struggles, but once you get through the struggles and you have Him as your guiding force, as your rock, as your foundation, anything that comes between the two of you, you're on a different foundation that doesn't just shake and everything falls out of place. Yes, you feel like you're tumbling, but you're not falling all over.
It comes down to having God as your foundation.
For me, it is.
It comes down to having faith.
For
I think
us, it is.
That's, when we see all the celebrities fall apart, it's because they really have a good God foundation, because you have to believe in something that is bigger than you.
Of
If you don't
course.
believe that in something bigger than you, then you're only going to rely on your own understanding, on your own wisdom.
Now that like these celebrities, along with everyone else that falls into like this divorce or, entanglements or whatever it is that they want to call it, when they go through that, then they start looking for God.
Yeah.
Then they start looking for something
Well, they
bigger.
have to go through pain. They have to go through pain. And so
It's-
unfortunately that they're
there's
going
always
through
a
pain and
gift.
everybody's watching.
There's
and
always a
again,
gift.
It's TMI. There's too much information. Keep it to yourselves, grow, and then eventually you'll find yourself.
Yeah.
But I want to show one last clip. Do we have the last clip?
Oh, but we can't hear it, no?
I can't hear you guys. They won't work.
Okay, so this clip was about a woman. So you saw this clip, okay?
I didn't.
Maybe
I
the
didn't
team
see
could
it.
figure it out. But this woman was going to a date.
You told me about it.
She starts putting a video that she couldn't believe that the date is taking her to Cheesecake Factory. So I don't know what happened in this world. Nowadays, Cheesecake Factory is not ideally for, I guess, first dates. So
First dates? I mean, for me, a first date would be like, no, if you're taking me to the movies or to like a fast food restaurant. That would be like, no.
where did we go for a first date? Remember where we went to the first date? Our first official date.
Official date, we went to the beach. Orchard Beach?
You don't remember our first date?
Did we go to Chippan Beach?
I don't know who you went to Japan Beach, woman. Where's Tupac? Are you looking for Tupac?
Where did we go?
I did not go to Japan Beach.
Okay, this is 24 years ago, so please.
I borrowed money from my uncle.
okay. Yes, we went to a restaurant in Summer Street, which was our favorite Mexican place.
It was a fancy, not just a regular. I borrowed like $300. I don't know how much money was gonna cost. I borrowed like $300. I'm gonna take this girl on a date, borrow money, and go there.
That's too funny.
And it's a high-end Mexican place. We had a great dinner. I think the bill was about back in those days about $100 maybe, or $50, $60.
And for us, it was a lot because we were in high school.
And you know how much I tipped the waiter?
$5.
$3.
Oh.
$3 because I didn't know how to tip. I was like, that was
That was our
18 years
first time
old.
going to like an actual restaurant, like the two of us. But for my defense, I felt like our first day was when we went to the beach. Do you remember?
That's the first time that you were a little tipsy and you kissed me. That's what happened.
You kissed me at the beach, and I was like, "Wow!"
You kissed me when we were in my room. I was.
Yes.
We were hanging out with your sister and my cousin in my room. We were all drinking, and then you kissed me.
But the actual
the
date,
beach has nothing to do with our first dates.
The actual day, I felt like you actually took me out somewhere other than your house.
That was two-pack. Not here. I did not take you to the beach. I took you to the Mexican restaurant. I borrowed money from my uncle, and I gave the guy $3 tip, and he came back at the end, and he gave me back the $3.
But of course,
because he was like, "Hey man, you need it more than I do."
Yes.
And I was like, "No man, you keep it. You keep it." That was embarrassing. I was like, I didn't know what tip. I was like a young kid.
In my memory, we had a lot of beautiful dates. That was a very memorable one. And now it's a restaurant that we still love to go. And every time we look at the window, I'm like so reminded of the times that we went there or when you were driving by, or so many memories. So
when you say cheesecake is okay for a first date?
Yeah, I'll go to cheesecake. I don't mind. I mean, there's such a variety of things.
That's where we're going for your birthday dinner, baby. I'm taking you to cheesecake. So let's do a video. How for your birthday, cheesecake, it's okay.
As long as we're together, we have some deep, loving conversations. I don't care where I am.
All right, great. All right, guys, you heard it.
Yeah, I don't care.
Her birthday, we're gonna celebrate in cheesecake. So if you found any value in this podcast, and maybe you laughed a little with us, or you have any questions or comments, put it below. Follow the channel. Connect with Vivian and her Instagram. Connect with me, my Instagram.
Love to chat with you.
Facebook. You do Facebook. I hardly do Facebook, but I'm very active in Instagram. So if you send me a DM on Instagram, I'll most likely answer that DM. So thank you for following us.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us. Learn it, live it, experience it.